Good evening, and it's Monday. It's Monday, the 17th of November, 2025. Good evening, Joe Waters, and welcome.
Evening, Pat.
And Derwin Hone will be joining us later on. It's another edition of SportsView. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook, and you can make your comments straight into us here in the studio. And on tonight's show, of course, we'll be covering soccer. There's no doubt about that. Rugby, golf, tennis, boxing, darts, snooker. That's if we have time to get to them all, you know. But firstly,
Scales is up after it. Scales wins the header. The chance! Yeah! Oh, there's the goal! There's the goal! That's Troy Parrott. That is unbelievable. He scored a hat-trick.
well, except you were hiding under a rock over the weekend. I mean, Ireland had a tall order this time last week. We were speaking on the show. We were saying that they had Portugal at home, and we were making the case for a draw at least, and Hungary away. We were speculating that they had the capabilities if they played farm to beat Hungary, but nobody could predict two victories in the last two games, and they're into the playoffs now, Joe. But as we said, it's down to the management team around them that they have a settled team by the looks of it.
Well, I mean, it looks like right now that especially the last couple of games, and of course the game in Portugal where they were really unlucky as well. But, you know, he seems to have them believing in what they're doing. And, you know, I mean, if you were to look at it, you know, you'd say, okay, it's a typical kind of an Irish performance in terms of not the greatest in terms of pure football, but in terms of energy and effort and never say die, commitment. It was absolutely brilliant. And I mean, you can't escape the fact that they scored 5 goals in 2 games. You know, I mean that is absolutely, you know, fantastic. And then to see in unfortunately in my time I've been on the wrong side of it with being in squads that were on the wrong side of poor refereeing decisions. And for us to get the penalty in Hungary was a huge decision.
It was.
In times past, that wouldn't have happened. And as Owen Hand used to say, I don't know about the look of the Irish. He said, sometimes I think it's the unlook of the Irish. You know, the way things go. The phantom calls that we've had over the years.
They've been brutal calls.
Oh, they've been brutal.
We need to mention the one in Paris, you know.
Right, yeah. And that happened to us twice in Paris. I mean, before the Thierry Henry one, I think it was Frank Stapleton scored a goal in Paris, and it was disallowed for offside. I mean, there's no way that he was offside, but the linesman, the referee, somehow found a way for him to be offside, and that was a huge you know, influence on that game. So to see us come out on the right end of it is great, and you know, we're in a situation now where, you know, the look of the draw could I mean, it's still going to be tough because it appears that if we win the first game, which will be away from home, we'll have to play the second game away from home as well, by the looks of it.
Well, it looks like at least we know one thing for sure: both games are going to be away from home.
Yeah,
and let's not forget this man.
Dear.
With apologies for Troy. You know. We love you, Troy, but I couldn't resist. I mean, that went up very quickly after the match. You know, there's some geniuses out there online.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They never miss a trick. You know.
No,
but
they
I
don't.
mean, it would be marvelous if we had the Republic of Ireland again, ironically, in the United States playing in the World Cup, because the only World Cup qualified for was in the United States, wasn't it?
No, they qualified for
Oh, yeah.
Japan as well.
Oh yes, yeah, they did. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. We have reasons to forget that.
To forget that one, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
so
yeah, but anyway, I'm saying that they
no,
did.
but we were in Italian 90 as well.
We were.
When we lost to Italy to Scalacci's goal.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think was that in the quarterfinal or the first knockout round? Trying to
Um,
think which one it was. But yeah, so we've been there. Uh, we've
that
been
was
there
we
three
reached the
times.
quarterfinals against Romania. Yeah,
So we beat Romania in
a penalty shootout with
when Dave O'Leary scored. That was in
the
that
last
was in the US, wasn't it?
yeah, the last 16. Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
that
we
was
reached
in.
the quarter. We reached the
Oh,
quarterfinals.
that was Italian 90, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then we drew Italy in the quarterfinal.
Toto Scilacci.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, but
yeah.
now, as a result of those, just to mention, France, Spain, Portugal, Austria, Norway, England, and Croatia have qualified now for the World Cup. I think England has to be one of the favourites going to the World Cup, and I don't say that lightly. I think they conceded no goal, they topped the group. What else do you expect them to do? I think they're certainly one of the outstanding teams going to the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was thinking about that as a preparing for the show here and what have you, and I was trying to think out of the top four teams in the Premier League, how many English players are actually in the starting 11 of the top four teams, and
But
I
you know,
couldn't.
yeah.
I was struggling to figure it out. I mean,
Well, in
uh,
Arsenal, Sacco and Rice.
right, it's two of them.
Liverpool would have
They'd have what's his name, but he's a sub. Uh, oh God,
Man City,
Man City have the
Foden.
Foden, and they have the left back O'Reilly.
Yeah,
Um,
that's only four now of those three teams.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So
Well,
yeah,
Bellingham is with Real Madrid, and
yeah, Bellingham's Real Madrid, and Harry Kane is with Bayern Munich.
yeah,
Um, so that's six of them. But when you look at if you look at the other countries, all the likes of Spain and Portugal and what have you, um,
they
they
have the same.
all they all have their first teamers
Well,
playing regularly.
well, in the other some of the others, Portugal won the other group game last night, 9-1 against Armenia.
Portugal have scored 9 goals in two different games that they
Yeah,
played, and Cristiano Ronaldo didn't play in each of those games.
that's true. Yeah, he's got a new. I forgot the picture. There's a picture of him today on social media with a new pajamas full of parrots on it. Yeah, it's just fantastic picture. I forgot to put it up, but anyway, I'm sure people have seen it online. But Italy lost at home to Norway 4-1.
Yeah,
And England, as we said, beat Albania 2-0 in the final group game. Jude Bellingham was subbed, and he did not like it.
that's what I read.
Thomas Tuchel said, "We are a team. We have a panel." And what he was basically saying, I will take off and put on who I like, who I choose to do. I'm the manager. So there's going. He's laying down the law early, and I think he has a point. He's
Well,
too.
no one is bigger than the team,
No,
and we
we've
saw
seen.
that. We
Yeah,
saw that with England in '66 when Jimmy Greaves went out injured, and then Jeff Hurst came in, and then all of a sudden England looked a different team completely than when they had Jimmy Greaves in at the beginning.
yeah.
And and they changed a couple of things through the tournament till they got to the team that eventually won it. So it's all it's always a process of
That's true.
elimination. That you're looking at things and you're trying things, and what better time to try it than when you're doing well and you're winning. You know,
And look at
so
what Jeff Hurst was a revelation in the World Cup.
he certainly was. Yeah,
You know,
yes. Still the only man to ever score a hat trick in the men's World Cup.
maybe he might be repeated in the Three Lions this year and then next year in America.
Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Now,
Um, I was,
some you were talking about some pub, Joe, with the. That was just a flavour of the atmosphere, and you would think that the stadium was full of Irish at that stage,
oh
and
yeah, yeah,
there was I think there were 3,500 or 4,000 Irish supporters at the stadium, but they made their presence felt anyway. But it is a great fill up for Irish soccer, Irish football. It was a
Well, I
great.
mean, it's a great fill for the nation. I mean,
Yeah,
we're a huge, hugely proud nation of our sports, and we follow our sports, and we love watching our teams being successful. But we're as quick to have a go at them as when they don't do well.
that's
As
true
we
as
are.
well.
But I mean that's the way it goes. I mean that's how it is. One day you're a cock of the walk, the next day you're nothing. So and it's just a measure of how much people really care about the national team, the disappointment that they experience when it doesn't do well.
That's
You
very true.
know,
That's very true.
so it's
No,
you can understand it because we always live in hope,
we do.
and hope kills. We all know that. We've
I
been
mean, the astonishing thing about Irish soccer, of course, we shouldn't be surprised, is that no matter how bad they're going, no matter how down in dumps, Lansdowne Road is always full.
yeah,
It must be an incredible lift. I hate picking out a player, but to me, who epitomised the spirit of the team last night, one of them was Coleman. I mean, he was like a little terrier for the whole match. I know he was subbed in the end, but for a man who's 37, is it 36, 37?
yeah,
He's just phenomenal. And he gives a whole lift to the team. But I think a lot of the younger players now, so-called younger players, are beginning to blossom under the stewardship of the present management team. And I thought Ogbene and Troy Parrott worked very well up front. They really, really did. And he didn't mind doing the workhorse for Parrott. He was happy
yeah.
to do it. And you always need people like that. You always need. Who was in the Irish team? Who was the workhorse in the Irish team that fell on the wing? Forget his name now. Gosh, he used to play with Brighton. Remember he scored the goal in the FA Cup final. Was it? Oh God, in Irish
Oh,
international.
was
You
it
probably
Michael
remember.
Robinson?
Was it Michael Robinson? Was it?
Yeah,
No.
Michael Robinson was at Brighton.
Yeah.
Jerry Ryan was at Brighton.
Jerry Ryan. Yeah, another.
Um,
And yes,
try to think of what some of the other lads that were there.
gone out of my head now, but I remember
But
him flying up the wing, putting in loads of crosses all the time.
yeah, and there was what was his name? Um, was it Galvin? Tony Galvin?
Tony Galvin, I'm thinking of, yeah. Tony
Yeah.
Galvin. Yeah.
Didn't he have a stroke recently?
Yes, he did. He did.
I
Tony Galvin.
hope it all goes well for him. But yeah, he was a workhorse. I
Oh,
mean,
he
he
was.
did
He, he,
he
he
put in the yards.
He'd run forever, But I loved him. I love watching him. Tony Gavin. Players like that are just unsung heroes of the
Yeah.
soccer. Over the weekend, we had the November International Still. We'll come back to soccer later on, no doubt. And rugby, the Rugby International run over the weekend. And Argentina edged out Scotland 33-24. Wales had a win over Japan 24-23. Well done, Wales. And it's the beginning of a bit of light in the end of the tunnel for Welsh rugby. It's good to see Welsh rugby there, they're there or thereabouts. South Africa won away to Italy 32-14. South Africa are the next visitors to Ireland to play Ireland. Ireland had a big win over Australia 49-19, and the match was horrible rugby match, to watch anyway. It was very flat, very uneventful in my opinion, but well done Ireland. France beat Fiji 34-21. England beat the All Blacks 33-19. Dare I say it? They're a good team, England. They're a good team, I must say now. I saw the highlights only. But there we are. Ireland had a win against Australia, as we said. They did well. It was a non-event, a non-event, full house. But South Africa will be a different proposition next weekend against Ireland, because they are the number one team in the world. They are superb. They're like mountains. Some of the team. Did you see them recently? My God, how would you tackle one of them? I don't know.
Right.
You need a ladder to tackle some of them in attack.
They are big men, that's for sure.
I'd
That's for
say,
sure.
I'll tell you. I'd say, here's the ball. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. No, I'm
Yeah.
only joking. I'm only joking. There's no team unbeatable, as we know. But anyway, in the world of golf, Rory McIlroy and Fitzpatrick had a playoff in the DP World Tour Championship, and Fitzpatrick won that. They both finished at 18 under. Shane Lowry finished with an eagle on the 18 to finish at minus 13. He had a good tournament as well. In the Bermuda Championship, Adam Shen, never heard of him, an American golfer. He won it at minus 12. Seamus Power is playing for his card, to keep his card. He had a good tournament. He finished at minus 7, 7 or 8 position. Very good. And the ladies are playing in the Annika after Annika Sorensen, who was a fantastic golfer herself. Lynn Grant won that at minus 19, a fabulous golfer herself. She'd been out of the picture for a while, but she came back and won that at minus 19. And Leona Maguire was playing as well for Ireland, from Ireland, and she finished down the field at minus 1. A credible enough performance, a field packed with winners. The best ladies were playing in the Annika, but that was her, I suppose, her tournament, and she finished in top 40 anyway. In tennis, at the end of tournaments are coming at the end of the year. The ATP, the men's tournament, Novak Djokovic pulled out of that, even though he qualified. I think the exertions of the Athens win was a bit much for him. But anyway, Sinner and Alcaraz met in the final, and Sinner beat Alcaraz 7-6, 7-5 in a very, very tight game. But Sinner won that, Well, people who watch this program regularly knows my feelings about Sinner, and I won't say any more about it, other than you can read all about it yourselves in the back pages of some sports magazine. Anyway, in boxing, oh my God, thank God I didn't have to pay for it. Boxing, I was watching Conor Bent boxing Chris Eubank Saturday night. Definitely in my book, and I've been watching boxing a long time, I saw both their fathers boxing, I must say, and Steve Collins beat both of them in his heyday back in the early 90s, I was in Mill Street the night that Steve Collins beat Chris Eubank Sr. It's a fabulous night. A small village in North Cork, Mill Street hosted the fight. There were more people at the fight than there were residents in the village. There you are. Yeah, that's one for you know. But anyway, it's a brilliant night. We were sitting down before the fight at the table, having our egg and chips and a cup of tea. And who was sitting opposite us, Joe? Was Henry Cooper,
Henry.
the great Henry Cooper, and he was reporting on the fight for London, the BBC in London, you know. And our own Jimmy McGee was sitting beside him. We hardly got a word in, but we were listening and fascinated by the whole action. So it's great.
Oh, Jimmy McGee was with him?
He was, yeah.
Wow.
Jimmy was just an encyclopedia, a walking encyclopedia.
Oh, Jimmy is a fabulous guy.
Fabulous
guy. Yeah.
There's nobody like those people. You know?
I'm telling you.
They're
Just
both,
a great guy.
you know, they're both passed on now, you know.
Yeah.
But that was Conor Benn beat Eubank in a unanimous, and there's no doubt about it. Eubank didn't win one round in my book, not even one round out of 12. But he wasn't, of course, fighting at his natural. That's not to make an excuse. Anybody who understands boxing, he wasn't boxing at his natural weight, whereas Conor Benn was. He's a super middleweight. Chris Eubank Jr. He's a super middleweight. So I think the draining of that, the losing of that weight, has to have a draining effect. I'm not saying that contributed, but it certainly didn't help Chris Eubank. I think maybe he might retire now, you know, in the cold light of day. He's 36 or 37, but well done to Conor Benn. First time a Benn beat a Eubank in boxing. In the Grand Slam of Darts, Luke Littler, you just have to believe that he's only 18 years of age, you know. He's the oldest looking 18-year-old I've ever seen. You know?
Seems to have been around forever, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a positive way, Luke, you know. But he beat Humphries again, 16-11 in the Grand Slam of Darts, and which means he's number one in the world now. In the 2 years, he only turned professional last year, you know. Luke Littler, that is, he only turned professional last year. In prize money alone, he's won £1,850,000 sterling. £1,850,000 sterling he's won in 12 months. That's not including sponsorship deals and all. That's pure prize money. So he's a dart machine, you know. Anyway, we wish him the best of luck. There's a tournament in snooker, Joe, to held over the weekend in Leicester. It's called the Champion of Champions, and Mark Selby beat Judd Trump 10-5 in the final. It was Mark Selby's first time ever winning that tournament, which is in his hometown. It was a good win for Mark Selby, you know. But God, there was one frame. It took 63 minutes to get to the black ball. I mean, Mark Selby is not a good look for snooker. You know, you have to have a lot of patience watching him, you know. But he's a very tactical, slow, methodical player, you know.
Yeah.
But Judd Trump was totally out of sorts, you know. I didn't find out till afterwards that he had changed his cue, you know, to a new cue. So anyway, I think he'll be changing back again. But anyway, that was the other sport. But we're getting back to our. Will we book our planes? Will we book our flights to America, or is it too early?
It might be a bit optimistic, just at the moment. But you know what? It's a hell of a lot better than it was this time last week. You know, so
it is, and you know that there's a podcast that Roy Keane and Jamie Carr and your man, what's his name?
Ian Wright.
No, they're
Gary Neville.
Gary Neville. They do regular things. They came to Croke Park to learn the game of hurling. Here's a clip.
How far do you reckon you'll be able to hit it? Halfway line?
No, you won't. What?
No
chance.
So two hurling legends down there.
TJ Reid and Jimmy Barry Murphy, lads, waiting for us.
The first hurling player ever to come from Bury.
The last. Go easy on us.
No, it's going to be a tough day now. Just a few of the fundamental skills of hurling. Rise, strike, catch. And then we have a challenge then at the end, which is going to be fun.
If Roy doesn't win this, he'd be stripped of the freedom of Cork.
Don't shame me, lads. Don't shame me.
Probably the most fundamental skill in hurling is rising the ball, okay? And it's down, roll left, and catch.
Nice one. Not bad,
Okay,
lads.
very good. So I think we can move on to the next step, striking the ball.
Oh.
Go on, lads!
Rise, catch, strike. Yes! Ah, natural, well done.
Oh, not bad.
Oh, he got in, well done. Well done.
Like,
He's not even flicking it up, TJ.
Gary, we're looking at you. We need more from you here now.
Thank you.
Rise, strike without catching the ball.
brilliant, isn't it?
Yes!
Oh, yes. Love it, Roy.
It's like a soccer player, if you can strike it cleanly, then it's lovely. You'll obviously have to edit out the ones that we didn't strike so well.
You know.
Catch it, Jamie. Oh! You got that?
I have to say, when you see someone doing their sport really well, you just say, oh my God, that was
Timing, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Hold this time, Gary.
Step into it. Lovely, yes!
I'm really so disappointed he done it.
That's having a bit of fun. Those podcasts are all up on YouTube, you know, and it's a bit of banter. It's a bit of fun, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I suppose when you see any sport and you look at the basics of any sport and you look at the match then when they're playing that, you know, at a high tempo, it's no matter what, whether it's hurling or soccer, you see then that there's an awful lot involved in it. It's not just kicking a ball or belting a ball, you know, and there's an awful lot goes into it. The coaching aspect of it is very, very important. You know that anyway, Joe, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much goes into the whole thing of it, you know, and it's a credit to the people that play the games because they make it look so easy.
Yeah.
But the amount of time and the amount of effort and the amount of natural ability that they have is amazing, and it you know, and it always never seems to amaze me how the fellas, you know, standing in the crowd will always say, Jesus, I could have done that.
Yeah.
You know,
I know, throw your remarks.
yeah, well, why aren't you doing it? You know, and so
Exactly.
it's but it that's what makes sport what it is, you know, that but yeah, I mean, you look at the lads there and it's like when we start off playing golf, you know, it's
You
it's
can't hit the
totally,
ball.
you know,
You can't hit. It took me an awful long time to hit the ball.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and you so see it on television. Oh yeah, boom, bang. It's just the application of it is so difficult. But in your case, you've coached underage teams, under juniors. If you had 20 or 30 young lads out there, could you just say after one or two sessions, there's about 5 or 6 of these guys have what we call natural ability?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's you'll watch them, and they're usually the best athletes. First of all, the thing that you know hits you is that, well, these kids, you know, they can run. You can see them changing, you know, how they change direction, how they move, how they hold themselves, and so that you get to spot them, and then you see, you know, you watch their natural ability, you watch them, you know, when they're on the ball, you know, that kind of stuff. So, but a lot of it is that in the beginning you're looking just for natural athletic ability, and then the other stuff you can add to it, you know.
Yeah.
But they're by repetition on the ball and correct repetition. You know, I mean, there used to be a saying that practice makes perfect, and actually, it's probably more appropriate to say practice makes permanent, because if you practice poorly, then you're going to have poor technique. You know, so if you practice correctly, you'll have good technique, and that as you become more and more experienced, you realize the importance of working on your technique, your form every day, and that's what makes the pros the best.
And when we look at players in our time, Joe, saying, we've been around the block a few times, lads, just in case you're worried about us, is that players like I saw playing like George Best. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't need coaching. Of course, you do to play in a team, but himself, the natural ability that that man brought to the game was was always going to be there, no matter what team he was with. You know, he was just a natural born footballer.
Oh yeah, he was. But I mean, the other side to that is that he worked very hard at his game as well. You know, I mean, people don't see that. All they see is what is. But in training every day, he had to be doing things like that. You know, I mean, all professional players apply themselves because if they don't, they're they're going to end up not being picked. You
Yeah,
know, and that's the key to it. Everyone wants to play. So the thing is, there's a huge amount of pride in being a player and being a good player, and you have to work at that every day in training to make sure that on Saturday or Tuesday night or Wednesday night that you're able to put it on show.
that's
And
true.
so that it's not luck. There's really no luck involved in it. It's it's having the ability and then being prepared to work on it every single day.
Yeah, and I think we have a clip. I think we have a clip of George Best.
Come and get it if you want it. There's the acceleration. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Dennis Irwin. The whole cup tie summed up in an instant.
Well, by the jerseys that Man United were wearing that time, it was a bit back in the time of Dennis Irwin, but an unsung hero of Man United as well.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
another great player.
Oh, we're heading back now next weekend to the Premier League again, to the bread and butter stuff, and next weekend we'll have Burnley playing Chelsea in the Premier League for people who are looking forward to it. Bournemouth are playing West Ham on Saturday. All these are on Saturday. Brighton are playing Brentford. Fulham are playing Sunderland. That should be makings of a good match. Liverpool are at home to Notts Forest. Wolves are at home to Crystal Palace. And Newcastle are at home to Man City on the Saturday. Then on Sunday, we have Leeds and Aston Villa, and Arsenal are playing Spurs. So that's your lineup on the Premiership next weekend. That will tell a lot again. These matches.
Yeah. Well, it's still early days yet, but as somebody said the other day, you're not going to win the league in November, December, but you certainly could lose it by putting yourself
Too far.
so far behind that you can't catch up and what have you. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Liverpool.
Yeah, in the
react
next
after
the next year 4 games. By the way, I forgot to say at the start of the show, Joe, that the remainder of the European group matches are on tonight live as we're on here. And at the moment in Group A, Germany are beating Slovakia 4-0. Northern Ireland are 1-0 up in Luxembourg, which is good for them. Malta and Poland are 1-1, which not good for Poland. Netherlands are 1-0 up on Lithuania. And the Czech Republic are beating Gibraltar 5-0 at halftime. And Montenegro are beating Croatia 2-1 at halftime.
Wow.
That's a surprise. That's a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, did you say Holland are beating somebody 1-0?
Yeah, Lithuania.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. They're not going well. But anyway, I think Germany will qualify for the World Cup. And Northern Ireland are doing well. I don't know where they are in the group. I think they're third in the group at the moment. That's Northern Ireland. So a win tonight will be very good for them. Anyway, they are the rest of the group games tonight. And after tonight, then, the picture of the playoffs will be clearer, will be definite. We will almost know who will be playing. and we'll have 2 away games, as we said at the start, 2 away games for the qualifiers in whatever we'll be drawn against. But the picture will be clear now tonight, and we'll be discussing it all again next Monday. You can comment anytime into the program. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. So and make any comment you like, we don't mind. We're big men here now. We don't mind at all.
I saw an interesting interview the other day with Gattuso, the Italian coach.
Yeah.
He was talking about in his day. Well, he was talking about that in his opinion, they've allowed too many African nations into the World Cup, and his argument is that none of them have really done well when they've been there. So, and he was stating the fact of that in his day, the number one team in the group went, and then the next 3 second best second teams went, or what have you. But you're looking at this right now, and we're at a stage now where the Nations League counts to what is work for you in qualifying for the World Cup.
And seedings for you.
And seedings, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just that I mean, realistically, if you looked at it and went, if it was like the old days, maybe we'd be going to the World Cup now as a second place team, instead of having to play our way through it. So
yeah, that's a fair point. And he I mean, I see what he's saying. He said there are too many good teams who are competitive not going to make it to the World Cup.
And that's probably very true. That's probably very true. And I think you've talked about this before with the Rugby World Cup, but sometimes the blowouts in the Rugby World Cup that are happening. But there are certainly powers who really would have thought that Italy would be in a situation where they're having to go through a playoff to get to a World Cup. So
having won
it. Yeah, you just have to wonder: is it good for the game by making the World Cup with so many teams in it now? Is it diluting the quality of the product?
Is it attractive? Is it attractive?
And that's the thing with it. I suppose only time will tell if it's the right thing or not. But we all know what it's about. It's about more money and TV money, and that's what.
Money is the game. Money is the game.
It is. And it's FIFA. FIFA really got their nose put out of joint with the success of the Champions League.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
And they're trying to now.
You have the Champions League, you have the Europa League and the Europa Conference, which really gives club teams a chance to progress.
Yeah, but it's every year, and this is the problem with FIFA, is that they only have their competition once every 4 years. So now they're trying to play catch up by making it bigger and having more teams in it and trying to get their share of the money that way. Because I think UEFA is probably maybe even richer than FIFA, just because of the 3 big tournaments that they've got going.
Yeah, I don't. I think they're very well organized. I mean, they have the European Championship, which is a very exciting competition because an awful lot of the teams are even Steven.
Yeah.
There are no surprises in the European Championship.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be a surprise with did Greece win it 1 year? Do you remember, out of the blue?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And they didn't qualify for the finals.
Yeah. Well,
That's
Greece won it one year, and then Denmark won it
yeah.
another year when they were
We
all on holiday, and
we
they had to
we
be all called back.
we met one of the players from that team, funnily enough, last year on our tour of Parc de France. You know, we went on a tour, and there was a big crowd on the tour, and we got chatting to people, and you know, we were chatting to this chap, and I said, "We're talking about soccer, obviously," and he said, I forget his name, but he was. I looked at it afterwards to see he was on the team, all right, you know, that won the European Championship, you know. We were talking about
Yeah,
great Danish players down through the years, you know.
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
but they had a terrific team that year, Denmark.
they did. They had was Alan Simpson on that team.
Yeah,
Schmeichel was the goalkeeper.
yeah.
Did they have one of the Laudrups playing?
The
Um,
what the two Laudrups playing?
Two Laudrups.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, great! Was it Janssen that played midfield? Trying to
Uh,
think of that team now. That was a heck of a team they had.
no, they had a freaking great team. I think Bellingham is going to fall out of favor with the manager. It's a bad thing for his career if he's going to do that, you know.
Yeah, that's not a very smart move.
No,
Picking a fight with your manager.
especially when you're not playing in England.
Well, And what about that one? Luka Modric is looking to play in his fifth World Cup.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah,
oh
if
my goodness
Kuwait
me!
qualify for it. I'm not sure if they've qualified or not. You talk about a guy that just keeps on going.
Now we have the Denmark Euro winning team. Well, Germany beat them. Germany beat them 2-0 in the round 16, but in the group stage, Denmark 0-0 with Serbia, 1-0 with England, and then they had lost 2-0. They beat Switzerland 2-0. They beat Serbia 2-0, and they lost to Spain 1-0. They drew with Switzerland then 2-2 all. Spain beat them 2-1. Serbia and Denmark 0-0. Denmark beat Portugal 1-0. I'm just trying to get their team now, lads. I don't have all this information. And we were looking up to see who was in the Danish winning team. You know, Danish winning. Now, if you want to make any comment into the program. Do you know what's funny thing, Joe? When you put in a Danish winning team, do you know what comes up? Eurovision. We're not that bad yet.
No. God, that is how many years ago was that?
1992.
1992.
My goodness me. Is it that long ago?
Yeah, well,
That 33, 34 years ago, is it? And we have their team here now. Well, Henrik Larsson. Did we
Henrik
mention?
Larsson was on that team.
Yeah. Goodness me.
So you had Larsson Alan Simpson was on that team.
Well, it said
Is it?
that he was one of the top scorers in the Euros that time, 1992. Henrik Larsson, Karl-Heinz Riedle, Dennis Bergkamp, and Thomas Brolin, all with 3 goals. There were some players at that time.
Yeah, they were.
They beat Germany in the final, as we know. Did people know that? Okay. Peter Schmeichel, Lars Olsen, John Jensen, John Sieverback, Torben Pichnik, Kim Christoph, Flemming Poulsen, Brian Lardrup, Kent Nielsen, Henrik Larsson, Kim Kim Vilfort. Jensen, didn't he play with Liverpool, did he?
I played up with Arsenal.
Yeah. No, no. Can people see that or not?
Yeah. Yeah, John Jensen played for Arsenal
Oh, he did. He did.
for George Graham. George Graham brought him there. I'm trying to think. Was the the guy that played for Man United?
Where did he play in the backs?
Yeah, he played centre back and sometimes defensive midfield. Was it Ronnie Jensen? But he was on the I think he was on the treble team.
With Man United?
Yeah. Trying to think.
A lot of those Danish players after that Euros were snapped up. A lot of them were snapped up. They were a fine team,
Yeah.
a fine soccer team. We're talking about the 1992 winning Danish team in the Euros. You know, some of you watching this may not have been born that time, but anyway, you can look up all newsreels. I mean, when Sweden and Germany were in that, Thomas Brolin, I love watching him. He was a great player, you know.
He was, yeah, he was a terrific player.
Karl Heinz Riedle for Germany, very good too, very good.
Yeah.
You know? There's some fabulous teams.
Yeah.
But we're thinking who will win the Euros? Who will win the Euros with the World Cup? England are one of my favourites to win the World Cup. I don't mind my neck in the block.
It'll be interesting to see. You know, you really can't discount the South Americans, Brazil and Argentina. You know,
They'll be up there, Brazil and Argentina, England, and probably Spain.
France,
France,
yeah.
Portugal,
Spain,
well, Portugal have a good team.
Yeah.
Very good team. And France and Italy, if they qualify, we don't know. They're a good World Cup team as well, you know.
Yeah, they're a good tournament team.
Outside of those, there wouldn't be any surprises really, would there? Like a Mexico or a Colombia or anything like that, or a Uruguay or Paraguay.
Well, Uruguay's always got something just by the way they play. They're just such a tough team to beat.
Absolutely.
Mexico could be an interesting one just because the fact that
they're in the heat.
The heat. It just depends on where they play. It's like with England, you know, and it's like when we played.
I think they should take Mexico to Iceland to play.
Well, you know, Canada used to take them up to Newfoundland to play them up at St. John's when they had them in the group.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, it was always freezing cold.
Yeah,
freezing cold up there.
Long John's and thick woolly gloves.
Yeah. So I think it just depends on where they have the matches. You know, especially for the European teams that are not used to the hot climates and what have you. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. I remember when Ireland played
in Orlando, was it?
Yeah, when they played Holland, and it was, you know, it didn't help us, the fact that the game that we were playing and the all action game that we played, the Dutch were much more composed type of a game, and were able to gain the advantage from that. But I think if you go to Soldier Field or somewhere in like Philadelphia or Buffalo or New York, when it's like 90 degrees there, and Orlando or Miami or wherever.
Yeah, there are 4 or 5. There are 4 games in Los Angeles in the World Cup, you know. That'll be tough going, whoever gets over there, you know.
Oh yeah, and you know, if Mexico are playing from there, you know, I mean, even when the US play in Los Angeles, it's like a Mexican home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They're only
it's
down the road. They're only down the road.
oh yeah, and so many of them live there.
And
Um,
it was theirs, you know.
yeah, oh yeah, originally it was. Yeah,
Los Angeles, City of the Angels. It was,
yeah.
but that's history for you. But anyway, there we go. I think America bought it off them, did they?
You know, I'm not sure if America bought it off them or not, but I mean,
Or was it a
all
treaty
back,
or something? I don't know. I must look that up now.
yeah, you had California, Arizona, New Mexico. I mean, a lot of those places were all.
Remember the animal?
Yeah, oh yeah, Texas as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Texas as well.
yeah. They
Trying
were
to
all.
think the states around there that would have been all, you know, Mexican territories at that before the U.S. Well, of course, the U.S. only became a country a couple of 100 years ago. So
It's only the 1860s, like,
yeah,
you know. And so it's a young country. People forget that it's a very, very young country, you know.
yeah, yes, it is.
As
Yeah,
countries go, you know, it's a testament to the people like that. It's such a magnificent country in lots of
yeah,
ways, you know. There's no doubt about it because there's a huge contrast between the south part, say from California up to Rhode Island. I mean, there'll be a huge contrast of people
mm-hmm.
who populate the different states, you know. And there you go. You could be down in the Everglades fishing in the pond, or you could be screaming there, whatever takes you fancy, or whatever. But it depends on what state you're in. I mean, the state of America now, not the state you might be in yourself.
Right. Yeah,
We look forward to the World Cup anyway. No matter where, of course, we hope we'd be there, you know, for the excitement. So, but as I said, my money is on England. I'm seeing it early enough for people. So it's up to yourselves. You're better judges than me out there on soccer. But I mean, I think they would have a chance, Joe.
oh, I think that they have a chance. I mean, for sure, they've got the player. I've said this before. They've got the players for it.
I think they have a good manager now.
Yeah, they do have a good manager.
Looks
You
like
know,
it.
I was actually when I was talking earlier about the amount of players that were in the top teams in the Premier League. I was trying to think of the teams. I mean, Gordon Banks was with Leicester, who were probably in the at that time in the 60s were probably a top half the first division.
Yes.
George Coyne was at Fulham. Ray Wilson was, I think, he was at Everton at the time, or he moved to Everton after, but he was there. You had three West Ham guys that were probably mid-table in the first division. You had Nobby Stiles and Bobby Charlton from United, who were winning leagues around that time.
Martin Shivers.
Well, no, Martin Peters was West.
Martin Peters, I mean, yeah.
Roger Hunt was at Liverpool.
He was.
Alan Ball was at Blackpool at the time.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, that was, I don't, not that many of them were. Jimmy Greaves, of course, was in the squad. Jimmy Armfield was in the squad. But yeah, I mean, George Eastham. It really surprised me when I was looking at some of the older guys.
Yeah.
Because back in those days, you only had 11 guys.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the 11 that played, and the rest of the lads on the bench were an afterthought. You know,
Yes.
so it was only ever the 11 that played in the final that were talked about. But Terry Payne at Southampton was in that squad.
Good player, very good player.
Very good player. I mean, they had a lot of really. Ron Springett, I think, was the backup for Gordon Banks at that World Cup.
Did Ron Springer play with QPR anytime?
He played for Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you know, some of the guys that I was surprised that I didn't know were in that squad. You know, because they never got a lot of publicity from it.
True, that's true. Now, before we finish, Joe, we'll have one more blast.
Scales is up after it. Scales wins the header. The chance! Oh, there's the goal! There's the goal! That's Troy Parrott. That is unbelievable. He scored a hat-trick.
Well, Troy Parrott, I don't think he'd ever have to buy a pint again in Dublin
and he shouldn't have to.
or anywhere in Ireland. We're not saying you should go back on the drink, Troy. It was just
No,
in that we have a comment in here saying from our producer, "Well done, lads. Well done, guys. We'll take the praise from wherever corner it comes." Anyway, Joe, for this edition of SportsView, until we meet again next Monday night, if I can bring it up now, I can, yeah. Until we meet again next Monday night, from Joe Waters and myself, happy sporting week, and back to the bread and butter next weekend, to the Premiership. We hope to see you all next Monday night again. Take care and good luck.
take care, Pat. Good luck.